As far as ambition go, it is a quite humble A. It is no one popularity nor wealth. How undergraduate Balatwaki aspires to, fare a farmer to assist nourish his compatriots, in jobs to hold them involved. The he divulges meeting by a 250-year-old rubber plant, one of lot-year-old trees shadowing the Polar Haiti Believer College, UCNH, in Haute-Limbé. Love Balat, the extensive most of students are there to recite agronomics to hammer a career in agriculture or, eventually, act a portion in tipping Haiti's economical fortunes. But the college found at the end of a ivory-shaking way and time of hat Haitian is famous for more than rather than fair its academia offerings. In a nation wherever deforestation earns as lot superlatives as poverty reduction, UCNH's old vegetation through its 19-ha college campus has been a refuge for uncommon, precinctive bird thanks to a generations-long ban on wood logging. Not just can students find out all on stable agriculture practices, they can expertise the symbiotic relationship how occurs while the land is leftward to its own devices. Massive death is already by path, the received information by U.S. and Haitian researchers alerted. Swathes of Haiti's maiden forest were ruined by France colonists in the 17th and 18th centuries to do way for sugar cane greenery. More than latter losses are due to little-scale farming and the manufacture of wood charcoal, wide utilized as inexpensive gas. Out of wood cradle to conduct ground, Haiti's mountainsides are particularly sensitive to landslides and flood. I ever speak human beings, factory trees, the more than we include, the superior the weather, Balat says. Several discover how hard to know. Lot wood charcoal sellers request, which will I offer my household to take? I try to show them trees are nice for meal. Famine, in Balat's household countryside of Pignon, is never far off. Lot human beings in village areas don't include jobs. I see a lot of human beings affliction in my society. I cry while I see wherever several include to sleeping, he says. With I was a kid I requested to be a farm so I could assist them. Balance entrenched culture beliefs in environmental formation goes to the cardiac of Haiti's distinctive and facility relation in the environmental. You show students a image of an owl and they lit their eyes, explains ecological prof Debbie Pecker. In the Haitian sorcerer religious, the owl is related in Marinet, a ghost symbolizing force and abuse. It's difficult to address religious issues, so I speak the grade. Owls are really essential since they go out at overnight and murder rats, Debbie, who investigated in her home US, continues. Or any period I learn on snakes it's a really very loaded class as the serpent is very considerable in sorcerer. The snake deity, Damballa, is one of the largest essential deities, believed by several to be the maker of the planet. Human beings trust on the environmental for all of pure water supply to meal, so I job these beliefs in my training, Debbie says. I speak students on the urgent roles various creatures act, love the hummingbirds how fertilize seedling, and on woodpeckers who monitoring the bug people and do holes for some bird to dwell in that helps the ecological system, Debbie adds. With Take Up the Stance in November, she has identified 30 various kind of bird on college campus, consisting endangered Hispaniolan parakeets, and 60 in the nearby region. Vision youthful human beings ardent on their teaching among Haiti's present policy stress, that sparked a wavelength of forcible protests in the Equity C. Port-au-Prince, is hardening for Laurel Wreath Cassius whose dad begun the high school as a divinity school in 1947. The year will mark the college's 25th anniversary date. It developed in its present shape for coup in the 1990s following the war overthrew later President Jean-Bertrand Aristide. The UN trading ban was on and down there was a requirement to nourish human beings, recalls Laurel Wreath's man, an ex-college CEO, Jules Cassius. How's while we added farming to the syllabus? These days we include more than rather than 200 graduates per grade. UCNH's pioneering job is now creature rolling out future yet. A main afforestation lead seeks to factory 1.5 millionth trees consisting coffee and cocoa, by 2024. Guy Buckmaster, who heads the program, has already signed up nearly 4,000 farmers to factory them, in conjunction in regional equitable trading organizations. The Planet Meal Program estimates Haiti imports more than rather than part the meal it is necessary to nourish its people. Guy hopes the draft will assist address how the amount of imports keeps Haiti confident on some countries, he says. We include to rotate things about.